Chapter 3. The Sacrifice and the Light of Prophecy. al-Muttalib, leader of the Quraysh, was respected for his generosity, wisdom, and his role in restoring Zamzam. Yet, despite his many blessings, he was troubled by the fact that he had only one son to support him and carry on his legacy, especially in a society where strength often came from family numbers. He prayed to God, asking for 10 sons, and made a solemn vow that if all of them grew to manhood, he would sacrifice one of them at the Kaaba. Over time, God answered his prayer, and al-Muttalib was blessed with 9 more sons. As the years passed, al-Muttalib could no longer ignore the vow. When the time came, he gathered his 10 sons and revealed the promise he had made to God. Each son marked an arrow, and al-Muttalib summoned the diviner of Quraysh to cast lots. The arrow pointed to Abdullah, his youngest and most beloved son. With heavy heart, al-Muttalib took Abdullah by the hand, knife in the other, ready to fulfill his promise. But the women of the household, especially Abdullah's mother, Fatima, could not bear it. Joined by the people of Mecca, they pleaded with al-Muttalib to reconsider. The chief of Makhzum, Fatima's kin, offered to ransom Abdullah at any cost. Moved by their pleas, al-Muttalib agreed to consult a wise woman in Yathrib. The wise woman advised them to cast lots between Abdullah and 10 camels, adding more camels if the arrow continued to fall on Abdullah. Back in Mecca, al-Muttalib followed her advice, but each time the arrow pointed to Abdullah. Only when the number of camels reached 100 did the arrow fall on the animals. To ensure God's acceptance, al-Muttalib cast lots twice more, and each time the arrow spared Abdullah. Relieved, al-Muttalib sacrificed the 100 camels, fulfilling his vow and sparing his son. al-Muttalib, though surrounded by idols at the Kaaba, always prayed to God. And though idol worship was common, there were a few, like Warqa, al-Muttalib's cousin, who followed the pure monotheism of Abraham. Warqa, now a Christian, believed a prophet's coming was imminent. His sister, Qutaylah, also shared this belief. On the day of Abdullah's wedding, as al-Muttalib and his son passed by her home, she was captivated by the radiance on Abdullah's face. Known for his striking beauty, Abdullah was often compared to the prophet Joseph. And on this day, Qutaylah saw something more. Overcome by a sudden impulse, she called out, "Oh, Abdullah!" al-Muttalib let go of his son's hand, signaling for him to answer. When Abdullah turned back, she asked him where he was going. "With my father," he replied, knowing she must be aware of his impending marriage. Then, in a moment of boldness, she said, "Take me here and now as thy wife, and thou shalt have as many camels as those sacrificed in thy stead." But Abdullah, bound by respect for his father, gently declined, saying, "I am with my father. I cannot act against his wishes." With that, he continued on his way to marry Amina, the daughter of Wahb, a union that had been arranged with the blessings of both families. Some days after the wedding, as Abdullah passed by Qutaylah's house once again, she stopped him, her eyes searching his face. This time, the radiant light she had seen before was gone. She asked why, and Abdullah, curious, questioned why she did not repeat her previous offer. She simply replied, "The light hath left thee that was with thee yesterday. Today thou canst not fulfill the need I had of thee." Unbeknownst to Abdullah, that light had been a sign, the light of prophecy, now passed to Amina, his new wife. Their union would soon fulfill a prophecy that would change the world forever.